So in this video, I would love to talk about why I eat the whole foods plant-based diet. So this is where it all started. Roughly 51 years, 52 years ago, my parents decided to become vegetarian. My mom, I guess they started meditating and really getting in tune with themselves. And my mom started feeling uncomfortable with eating meat and would see things that are very disgusting, because back then they would actually kill their own animals, and then cook and all that. So it felt uncomfortable to them. They were smoking, or they would smoke. Sometimes they would drink, and they were smoking cigarettes, obviously, back then. And they also ate meat, like most people did. So slowly over time, they got to the realization that they did not want to do it, because they saw the effects of, they started learning and experiencing the effects of eating meat and eating a lot of sugar, refined sugars, refined flour, the effects of cigarettes on someone's health, of alcohol on your health. So they started feeling like, hey, this is not right for us. So they stopped it cold turkey. They cut it all off. My mom had, she said she had chickens and other animals at the house that she gave away. Whatever meat she had, she gave them away to family members, friends, and neighbors. She got rid of all of it. She stopped smoking in one shot and never looked back. That was 50 some odd years ago. I am now 37. My brother, who is 15 years older than me, was the first of my family to be born a vegetarian. And so was I. What does that mean? Being vegetarian in our sense meant that we did not buy or consume eggs directly. However, we ate things that, I guess I'm finding out now, because I didn't know it at the time, contained eggs. Things such as were made with eggs, such as cakes once in a while, or which was very rare. But if we went to a party and there was some cake, we ate the cake. I ate the cake. If something I used to love eating were croissants, which I am understanding now are made using eggs as well as one of the primary ingredients. So bottom line, oh, and milk and butter. So we used to use regular butter on butter or margarine on our toast, on bread, in sandwiches. I would make sandwiches with cheese. I loved Swiss cheese for a while, shredded mozzarella cheese, all of that. We would eat those things, no problem. And the only requirement we had was that if we went somewhere, was that, hey, there cannot be any meat in there or any meat products. And if you're going to cook it, don't add any eggs to it. However, we would consume the eggs in, let's say, bread or whatever it was. Right, so that's how it's been for most of my life. And my oldest brother became vegan many years ago. I was still a teenager, and I remember him telling that to my mom, to my dad, and the benefits of not eating dairy and so forth. So he started. Then it was my dad. I remember my dad stopped eating white rice and corn and certain items, including dairy and so forth. Then one of my brothers was the youngest after me, became vegan. My mom did as well. But I wasn't really. When I was with them, I never intentionally cooked anything that had any cheese. At that point, the only thing I was consuming was cheese, right? Dairy. Cheese and milk, I guess. Well, not even milk, because I stayed away from milk. I started staying away from milk, and I would consume soy milk. But I would still eat cheese. I love cheese. Oh my God, New York City pizza. I live in Long Island, and I would sometimes drive to New York City in order to buy pizza, because their pizza was so good. The crust is just perfect. It's thin, a little crunchy, but soft at the same time. And then the pizza sauce, the cheese, all of that. was sorry was great, and I loved it. I couldn't stop eating it. I would have bagels with cheese and vegetables, obviously lettuce, tomato, onions, and so forth. Those were things that I loved. I loved going to Panera Bread and eating those things, going to the Olive Garden and getting pasta with a lot of cheese on it. So cheese was the last thing that I could not stop eating. My wife and I, we ate a lot of things with cheese. She was not vegan, vegetarian, or anything of that nature. And whenever we went out, there was always cheese. I wasn't a big fan. I started slowly not being interested in cheese. And what I would do was then to, if we go somewhere and they're asking me if I want cheese on my soup or my salad or something, I would always say no. Unless, of course, I bought some sort of pasta that contained cheese. So, fast forward to about 8 years ago, her and I, while we were still together, about 8 years ago, I decided that I would not. I'm sorry, 6 years ago, not 8 years ago. 6 years ago, I decided that I would stop eating cheese, and therefore, whenever we ate somewhere, or we ate something, I just refused to order anything that contained cheese. I tried to stay away from it as much as possible. Right? I wasn't very strict with it. Then, once we moved to our new home, once we bought our home, we moved here, my daughter was born. That was it. No cheese, because it's my own home. I make my own food at home, and I wasn't really eating out that much. And if I did, there was plenty of options with vegan cheese. So I would go out and eat things with vegan cheese, like pizza and so forth. If not, I would cook at home. And that's how I became a vegan. The reason why I did is because I dabbled a little bit in it, and every single time I would go and eat pizza or eat a sandwich that contained cheese, I would always notice how it made me feel. Made me feel very sluggish, tired, and there was that smell. I always wondered if other people could smell it, but there was always a smell after I ate pizza or anything that contained cheese. There was also always a don't even know how to describe it. It smelled really bad, and I didn't want that anymore. And so I made that switch in 2019 when we got our home, and that was it. I never had cheese ever again. I never had dairy, no milk, no cheese. I already did not consume any eggs, so that transition was rather easy for me, and so that's where it comes from. Now, why do I choose not to eat animals or animal-based products? Well, I don't want to consume anything that is either part of or causing harm to a being that has eyes, that has a heart, that bleeds red just like me, or that has a family and that belongs to a society, right? I refuse to consume those things because it feels wrong to me. I cannot. It just feels wrong. It's not even something that I have a solid conviction about that I want to fight for. It's just feels wrong, and I'm going by how it feels to me. That's the reason why I don't do it. Don't want to hurt anything or anyone. I would not hurt a fly. Would not hurt a spider. I will catch them and take them outside. I do it out of compassion for animals. Now, after my kids were born, I started doing some research into nutrition, and the reason for me to not consume animal-based products, became there was a second reason for me not to consume them, and that was the health reasons. For health reasons, right? I know the effects that consuming animal-based food has on our bodies. I know the effects of highly processed foods on our bodies, and therefore I chose to avoid them entirely because I want to have the highest quality of life that I can. I have so many friends. I know so many people that have so many diseases. I'm 37. Perfect example. My mom she turned 80, and she takes multivitamins or vitamins That's about it. Or protein supplements if she wants to, like a protein shake, she'll make that. She'll drink a smoothie, or she'll take her vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin B12. That's it. I know so many people that are in their 40s that are literally a few years older than me that are on a lot of medications. Medication for this, for their heart, for their cholesterol, for their high blood pressure, for insulin injections and things like that. I know people personally who have insulin problems, and they don't realize the effects that those things have on them, from highly refined sugars, highly refined carbs, from meat and dairy. Dairy, my God, is one of the worst. We are not designed to be consuming another animal's milk. We're not designed to be consuming human milk. Bottom line, we're designed to be eating plants and fruits and vegetables and nuts, seeds, things like that. Not oils, not a ton of salt, not a ton of chemicals or dyes and food additives. We're not designed to consume those things. And whenever we do, we're putting a strain on our body. Now, some people are proponents of a carnivore diet. The reason why the carnivore diet helps people is because those people, being conscious of what they're consuming, cut out a lot of sugar, a lot of seed oils, a lot of additives, a lot of chemicals, dyes and things like that from their food. They try to buy meat that is, I guess you could say, ground, what is it, grass fed or whatever it's called, because it's closer to its natural state. So what happens when they do? Well, they're not consuming all those harmful chemicals and things that are attacking their bodies. When they consume the animal products, the only effect that it's having is that it's actually clouding their blood and the plaque in their blood. It's actually giving them saturated fats, and those things aren't good for you. But if your body is not constantly bombarded by all those chemicals and things that are in regular food, what ends up happening is that your body's better able to digest the meat, the animal food, animal-based food, and it's able to fight against whatever effect the animal foods have on your body. Now, if you're eating the traditional American diet, not only are you consuming the animals, which have the trans fat and all those side effects that your body has to fight against, your body's fighting against all the seed oils, all the sugar, all the salt, all the additives, all the food coloring. Then your body just cannot keep up. All right, so that's the reason why if you switch to a carnivore diet, we see a lot of people start feeling much better because they get rid of all those other things that are hurting them. And the animal-based food, well, yeah, it hurts you, but your body is strong and can defend itself, can fight it off. Now, when you eat a whole foods plant-based diet, not only do you remove all those chemicals, you don't have any of the animal protein in your diet. You also don't get all the stressors, all the hormones, all the things that are injected in the animals. And if you do it right, you also avoid the pesticides that are sprayed on the plants. You have no idea how great you can feel. I know how good it feels because I've been eating whole foods plant-based for quite a while, and then we decided, hey, let's have some plant-based nuggets. Let's have some vegan ice cream. And oh my God, it felt so horrible immediately. Like my body was fighting back, trying to defend itself. People just get used to feeling bad and it becomes their normal, and they think that that's how they're supposed to feel. They always have phlegm, they always have a runny nose or something, and it doesn't have to be that way. All right, so that's where it all comes from. I wanted to share that because someone asked me recently, hey, how come, why are you doing it? Is it to save the animals and all that? I believe that everything that happens for a reason, and it's all fine. Even people that are suffering, at the end of the day, they're in a position where, yes, they are suffering, but that's their life existence. Same for the animals that suffer and that get killed. Now, I don't need to take part of that, and I also do not need to get the side effects from all the hormones and the fear chemicals that are in the animals. I don't need that, and that's the reason why I don't do it. All right? Thanks for watching.